Hi, I'm Isabella. My whole world revolves around my amazing 12-year-old son, Noah. 4 years ago, we got the diagnosis that changed everything: muscular dystrophy. The doctors explained how his muscles would gradually weaken, but they didn't need to tell me how strong his spirit would remain. Mom, did you pack my tablet? I want to show Grandma Rose my new game. Already in your backpack, buddy, along with those chocolate cookies you love. That's my boy, always thinking about the fun stuff. His wheelchair doesn't define him, though plenty of people try to make it that way, especially my aunt. Mrs. Chen called. She said Noah did great on his science project. My neighbor Lydia handed me a casserole as we chatted on the porch. Our community has been incredible since day one. Teachers making accommodations without complaint, neighbors building a ramp for our front steps, Noah's friends treating his wheelchair like it's just another cool ride. Did she mention if he's nervous about the presentation tomorrow? Nope. Said he was practicing with Miguel at lunch. Those two are thick as thieves. I smiled, grateful for Noah's solid school life. It hasn't always been easy, but we've built something good here. The phone rang. Speaking of complications. Isabella, it's Grandma Rose. Just confirming you're both coming to the lake house next weekend. The whole family will be there. My stomach tightened. We're still planning on it. Noah's super excited. Wonderful. Vivian and Robert are bringing their famous potato salad? Great. Aunt Vivian. The woman who once told me Noah just needed more discipline and less coddling to overcome his condition. How lovely, I managed to say, picturing her pinched face and judgmental stare. Now, Isabella, I know you and Vivian have your differences, but family is family. That's Grandma Rose's mantra. No matter how toxic someone is, blood ties trump all. I've never subscribed to that philosophy, but I keep the peace for Noah's sake. We'll be there, Grandma. Promise. After hanging up, I watched Noah through the window as he practiced wheelies in the driveway. The last family gathering, Aunt Vivian had cornered me in the kitchen. Such a shame you don't try harder with him. My friend's nephew has the same thing, and he uses crutches now. Maybe if you pushed Noah more? I'd walked away before saying something I'd regret. That's been our dance for years. Her passive-aggressive comments, my strategic retreats. Mom, did you see that? Almost a full 360? Amazing, buddy. You're getting so good at that. His smile could light up the darkest room. For him, I'd endure a weekend with Aunt Vivian and Uncle Robert. Are Emma and Tyler going to be at Grandma's too? Noah asked hopefully, referring to Vivian's college-age daughter and teenage son. Emma will be. Not sure about Tyler. At least Emma wasn't cut from the same cloth as her mother. She'd always been kind to Noah. As I packed for our trip, I couldn't shake the feeling of dread. Something about this gathering felt different. Noah sensed my worry, as always. It's gonna be fun, Mom. Don't stress. If only I could borrow some of his optimism. But mothers have a sixth sense about these things. And mine was screaming that Aunt Vivian was going to be more than just annoying this time. Grandma Rose's lake house was picture perfect as always, with the water sparkling in the afternoon sun. Noah wheeled himself up the ramp Uncle Robert had built years ago. I noticed Aunt Vivian watching from the porch, her lips pressed into that familiar thin line. Well, look who finally made it. We were starting to think you wouldn't show. I forced a smile. Traffic was heavier than expected. Good to see you too, Aunt Vivian. Noah rolled forward. Hi, Aunt Viv. I brought my new remote control boat to try out on the lake. She patted his head like he was a puppy. Aren't you getting a bit old for toys? Maybe you should try walking around more instead. The comment hung in the air. Cousin Emma appeared in the doorway, rolling her eyes at her mother before rushing down to hug us both. Ignore her. She's been extra this weekend. Noah, want to see the new dock? Grandpa extended it last month. The afternoon progressed with burgers on the grill and family catching up on the lawn. Aunt Vivian cornered me by the cooler. Have you tried that new therapy I sent you? My hairdresser's nephew was in a wheelchair and now he runs marathons. His condition is completely different from Noah's. Or maybe some parents just try harder. She sipped her wine. It's not healthy, all this dependency you encourage. Before I could respond, I heard Noah laughing with Emma near the water's edge. At least he was having fun. That's when it happened. I was helping Grandma Rose carry out the salads when I heard Noah yell. I turned to see Aunt Vivian standing over him, her hands gripping his arms. "Come on, just try. Real boys should walk." She yanked him upward out of his wheelchair. Noah's legs buckled instantly, unable to support his weight. He crashed to the ground, his head hitting a rock. "What are you doing?" I dropped everything, running to Noah. Blood trickled from a cut on his forehead. His eyes were wide with shock and pain. "Mom, I can't feel my legs!" His voice trembled with panic. "He's fine, just being dramatic." Aunt Vivian stood with her arms crossed. "He needs to toughen up." "Are you insane?" Emma pushed past her mother, kneeling beside us. "Vivian, what were you thinking?" Grandma Rose hurried over, her face pale. "I was helping. The boy needs to try harder." Uncle Robert appeared behind her. "She meant well. You all act like he's made of glass." I carefully examined Noah, who was now sobbing quietly. "I'm taking him to the hospital. Now." "Don't be ridiculous," Aunt Vivian scoffed. "It's just a scratch." "You could have paralyzed him permanently." My hands shook with rage. "Isabella, please." Grandma Rose touched my shoulder. "Let's not make this worse. Take care of Noah, but come back for dinner. Family sticks together." I carried Noah to the car while Emma brought his wheelchair. "She's completely lost it this time," Emma whispered. "I'm so sorry." As we drove away, my phone buzzed with messages from various family members. The last one was from Aunt Vivian. "He needs to learn independence. You'll thank me someday." I turned off my phone, glancing at Noah's tear-stained face in the rearview mirror. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Dr. Martinez examined the cut on Noah's forehead, her expression growing more concerned as she checked his reflexes. "This isn't just a minor injury. He's experiencing trauma-induced neurological symptoms. I'm documenting everything for his medical file." Noah squeezed my hand. "Am I gonna be okay, Mom?" "You'll be fine, buddy. Dr. Martinez is gonna make sure of it." My phone buzzed with a text from Emma. "Mom's telling everyone Noah's faking. Says his condition is exaggerated. I recorded her. Call me." I stepped into the hallway to call her back. "She's been saying this stuff for years. I found her old Facebook posts about Noah, screenshots of texts to family members. It's disgusting. Can you send me everything?" "Already compiling it. And Mom doesn't know, but Dad's starting to question things. He called me after you left asking if Noah was really hurt." 3 days after the incident, Grandma Rose visited us at home. Her face crumpled when she saw Noah's bruised forehead and the new neck brace Dr. Martinez had prescribed. I had no idea it was this serious. She sat heavily on our couch. "I need to tell you something. This isn't the first time Vivian has done something like this." I hit record on my phone discreetly. "What do you mean?" 20 years ago, she pushed your cousin Jeremy down the stairs because he was too slow learning to walk. He was only 18 months old. Robert convinced everyone it was an accident." My blood ran cold. "And nobody did anything?" "We believed her. I'm so ashamed. There have been other incidents, too." That evening, I started a digital folder labeled Vivian with subfolders for medical records, witness statements, and Emma's evidence. I called Noah's physical therapist to request documentation of his condition's progression. 2 weeks later, Uncle Robert called unexpectedly. Emma showed me the recordings and the hospital report. I don't know what to say. This isn't about you, Robert. It's about Noah. I know. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I've spent 30 years making excuses for her. The annual Christmas dinner is in 3 weeks. Everyone will be there. What are you planning? Justice. I spent the following days gathering statements from Noah's doctors, teachers, and friends who'd witnessed Aunt Vivian's behavior over the years. Emma provided years of text messages showing her mother's obsession with fixing Noah. Grandma Rose called daily, her voice stronger each time. "I've been enabling her for too long. Not anymore. The family trust needs updating anyway." The night before Christmas dinner, Noah watched me organize my evidence file. Are you nervous, Mom? A little, but some things are worth fighting for. Like me, especially you. As we pulled into Grandma Rose's driveway for Christmas dinner, Emma was waiting. She hugged us both. Dad's inside. He told Mom he's thinking about separation. She's on edge already. I clutched my evidence folder. Perfect. Grandma Rose's house was filled with the usual Christmas decorations, but the atmosphere felt charged as we entered. I noticed a few surprised looks when Dr. Martinez followed us inside. "Thank you for inviting me, Isabella," she said, carrying a small medical bag alongside her gift. Aunt Vivian stood frozen by the tree, her wine glass halting halfway to her lips. "What is she doing here?" "She's my guest," I replied, guiding Noah's wheelchair to his favorite spot near the fireplace. The family gathered around the large dining table, with Grandma Rose at the head as always. After the main course, she tapped her glass gently. "In our family, Christmas dinner is when we share important news. Isabella has something to say." I stood up, placing my evidence folder on the table. 3 weeks ago, Aunt Vivian physically assaulted my son by forcibly removing him from his wheelchair. Today, I'm sharing the consequences of that action. "This is ridiculous!" Aunt Vivian slammed her fork down. "It was a misunderstanding." I opened the folder. I have documentation proving a pattern of abusive behavior spanning decades. I passed around Emma's collection of screenshots. "These are comments Aunt Vivian has made about Noah's condition, claiming it's exaggerated." Dr. Martinez stood beside me. "As Noah's physician, I can confirm his muscular dystrophy diagnosis is legitimate and severe. The incident caused trauma to his cervical spine that could have resulted in permanent paralysis." Uncle Robert stared at the medical images, his face ashen. "My God, Vivian. What were you thinking?" "You're all overreacting." "Fine. I'm sorry if the boy got hurt. Is that what you want to hear?" I pulled out a legal document. "Your apology is meaningless. This is a restraining order preventing you from coming within 500 feet of Noah. It was granted yesterday." The room erupted into chaos. Aunt Vivian leapt to her feet. "You ungrateful little—" "That's enough, Vivian." Grandma Rose's voice cut through the noise like steel. "While we're making announcements, I have one of my own. I've updated my will and the family trust. Vivian, you've been removed as a beneficiary." "You can't do that! Robert, say something." Uncle Robert stood slowly. "I've already packed my things. The separation papers are with my lawyer. I'll be staying at the lake house until the divorce is finalized." "And I'm moving in with Dad," Emma added. "I've seen enough." Aunt Vivian's face contorted with rage. "You'll regret this. All of you." "Actually," I continued, "these documents have been shared with the school board where you volunteer, your employer, and the church committee. Everyone now knows exactly who you are." 6 months later, we gathered at the lake house again for Grandma Rose's birthday. Noah raced across the new accessibility deck in his wheelchair, laughing with his cousins. Uncle Robert looked 10 years younger, flipping burgers with an ease I'd never seen before. "Have you heard from her?" I asked Emma as we set up the picnic tables. "Not since she moved to Arizona. Dad got the divorce finalized last month. Nobody there knows her, and nobody here misses her." Grandma Rose joined us, watching Noah demonstrate a perfect wheelie for his younger cousins. "You know, I worried that breaking up the family was wrong. Now I see we're stronger without the poison." As the sun set over the lake, Noah rolled up beside me with a plate of cake. "Best birthday ever, right, Mom?" I hugged him tight, watching our family, our real family, celebrate together. "Absolutely perfect, buddy. Wouldn't change a thing." "What would you have done if you were Isabella? Would you have publicly exposed Aunt Vivian to the entire family and community, or would you have handled the situation more privately? Is complete social isolation a fair consequence for someone who refuses to acknowledge the harm they've caused, or is it too harsh? If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button to help others find it too. Subscribe to see more compelling stories about standing up against toxic behavior and protecting those we love. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one.